is ridiculously silver. They're finally here. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max in natural titanium. I've also got one of Apple's FineWoven cases, which I wanted to check out as well. And I've also got my iPhone 14 Pro Max with me because I wanted to check it out against this and just see what the differences are like initially. And I've also got some cases sent through from Andar, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But let's get the studio set up and get this thing unboxed. Whoa, that is ridiculously silver. It's actually way more silver than I thought it was gonna be. But it's nice, it's really nice. Apple generally always do a really good job with colors, and this kind of natural one is pretty much a bang on a silver color, like a really kind of classic silvery gray. Looks really, really nice though. Sometimes you have to kind of see things in person to really understand what they look like, and I definitely think this is one of them. It doesn't quite look like it looks like on the website. Not in a bad way at all, probably in a more of a good way. It's actually kind of nicer than I thought it was gonna be. These rails on the side are way, way nicer, especially compared to the iPhone 12, 13 and 14. These are much, much more kind of comfortable. Anyway, let's get this wrapper off. Oh yeah. In the box, you're getting a braided cable now as well, which is pretty nice. Happy that Apple are doing that. Still no charger, obviously, but this is a nicer cable. Kind of wish it was color matched, that would be awesome, but hey, they're still really nice. I can already tell coming from the 14 Pro Max that the bezel on this is quite a lot smaller, which is awesome. It feels a lot nicer as well. I've actually got my 14 Pro here, and you can probably see the difference of how different the kind of stainless steel looks compared to the kind of titanium. This is already really fingerprinty, the 14 Pro Max, and this one looks less so, but actually they're still coming on pretty quick, still quite a lot. But yeah, much, much nicer and a lot less sharp in the hand. I actually still think I probably prefer the deep purple over the silver. And obviously you're gonna get the action button now, which is on the left side, so there's no more mute switch. And I guess that's a good thing because most of us probably put this on mute and then never ever take it off. So having it back to an action button, which you can choose what to do, is potentially quite a lot better for use cases and things like that. Oh yeah, this looks great. And let's have a quick look at those bezels actually. So you can probably just about see there on the 14 compared to the 15 Pro, how much kind of bigger the bezels are. That's actually quite surprising. It's the same size phone and everything like that. And it feels so much lighter, even though it's not hugely, I don't think it's hugely lighter on the specs or anything like that. But yeah, this is way lighter than this. I've always thought the 14 Pro, and actually since the 12 Pro, they've been pretty heavy, especially top heavy when you're like using it with one hand. But this feels a lot nicer, and a lot nicer in the hand overall. Super, super nice. And finally, one of the big updates this year was getting USB-C across all of the iPhone 15 models. And really, it's something to be celebrated. Everybody has been asking for this for the longest time, and whether Apple were forced or if they just decided to put it on here, it's fantastic to see. It just means all of your chargers and all of your cables can now finally do absolutely everything. And honestly, it's kind of strange to see USB-C on an iPhone, but I'm really glad it's here. It's long overdue, so let's just be happy that they've finally done it. I actually also have the iPhone 15 in green. This is just the standard model, and this one's still got the mute switch. But you can see on the back there the difference in the cameras, but the material on the back feels pretty much the same. They frosted the glass on the 15 now, which is kind of nice. It feels good all round, but yeah. So here's a range as well. This is the iPhone 15, this is the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and this is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It actually looks a little bit smaller overall. I think the dimensions are pretty much exactly the same, but the way that the corners round off, it just makes it look a little bit smaller and definitely feels smaller as well, which is kind of awesome. I also have Apple's FineWoven case here as well. This is the one that was just taken over from the leather cases because they're not doing it anymore for kind of environmental reasons. And there's been loads of kind of interesting things about this online. A lot of people saying it scratches easy, a lot of people saying it's fine. So let's unbox this as well, see what it's like and see what people have been fussing about. Okay, so this is definitely a fabric case. You can tell immediately. It's kind of nothing like the leather one. Feels nice enough though. Let's pop the phone into it. I mean, this looks pretty decent. I do quite like it. I wouldn't say I absolutely love it, and I'll hold it up to the camera here, hopefully so you can see it. But this is definitely a fabric case. It's pretty far off the level what they've done before, and I know a lot of people have been scratching it with their nail, like immediately, getting in all sorts of scratches and stuff. I'm not going to do that on this video because I'd rather let it wear naturally rather than just kind of scratch it for scratching's sake. But yeah, this is nice. I can see why people would be kind of bummed out that the leather's not around anymore. But yeah, it's quite nice, the natural titanium as well. This deep blue color is tasty. I quite like it. However, if you are looking for a actual leather case this time round, then I'm really happy to say that the sponsor of today's video, Andar, have you sorted out. They very kindly sent me out 3 of their new leather cases, so let's check them out. I've got the camel tan, the jet black, and the blanc version here, and these are all really nice to hold in the hand. They're actually very reminiscent of Apple's kind of older leather cases. These still have the microfiber inside and the MagSafe compatibility, but these are great. Obviously, the great thing with leather cases is that they'll patina really beautifully over time as well, which is just really useful for something which sees so much wear and tear. This blanc version is interesting as well because it's actually made from cactus leather, which means it's vegan friendly too. Andar has a range of other colors for this case as well, and they're all really nice, so they're definitely worth checking out. And if you use the code Bite Review, you get a cheeky 15% off too. So big thank you to Andar for sponsoring this video. Obviously, another one of the huge upgrades as well was with the cameras, especially with the Pro Max series. So we're now getting a 5x optical zoom, which should outclass the 14 Pro Max. And I'll throw up some pictures so you can see it here, but this should give us quite a lot more detail when just zooming in that bit further. I'm more interested to see how this will do in a day-to-day sort of scenario, so I'm going to test it out loads over the following weeks. I'm going to make a day in the lifestyle video with this phone as well, so make sure you stick around so you don't miss it. But overall, do I think this phone is worth upgrading to? I don't think the 15 Pro Max is kind of there to convince people from a 13 or even a 14 to upgrade to. That's kind of not what Apple's going for here. I think if you've got an iPhone 12 or lower, this is going to be a fantastic upgrade. And you're going to see lots of really worthwhile things like better battery life, better performance, and better cameras. For those people, it's going to really feel noticeable. But like I said, if you're on a 13 or a 14, I would honestly stay there. I don't think there's any kind of meaningful reason to upgrade. So that rounds up this first look at this iPhone 15 Pro Max. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, pop a like. And if you picked up an iPhone 15 kind of in any combination, let me know in the comments below which one you went for. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.